frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Now a handoff looking right. And cuts out right sideline. A huge play there on 4th. 30 yards.
Well, there's the danger of selling out on 4th and short. So many guys flood the line of scrimmage that you're left very thin on the 2nd and 3rd levels. And they took big advantage of it there. Not just picking up a 1st down, but ripping off a huge gain on top of it.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 2nd down and 4.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into...
Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. And now here's a carry heading left. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball. the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25.
On third down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this one caught by Coates. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a second down. In the red zone this time. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. They'll roll him out right. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now back to throw. Out to his left. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. So he rolls out of the pocket left, just ends up finding his safety valve, but no gain there.
No gain, but it looked like they were well coached on the play because he still went through his progressions, and the receivers know that when the quarterback exits the pocket, they have defined routes to run now to get into his sight lines and try and help him out. Ended up throwing it short to the running back. Give the defense credit for not giving up any yardage.
Third and goal now. Maybe the offensive coordinator thinking blitz here. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
This offense bent the defense into a long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode, and it stiffened.
So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
He's going to go for a big play downfield and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Second down now after the incompletion. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Stanton. Underneath for Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be second and goal. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And from the 3 now, it's 2nd and goal. Johnson, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He's back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Troy Nicholas from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals are an extra point away from taking the lead.
Well, I don't want to overlook the touchdown because that was huge. That ties the game. But you know where I'm going, don't you?
Need the PAT, and then you need to stop on defense.
Yeah, in a big way. The guy kicking the ball through the post, that's where all the spotlight shifts to now.
Archer, the return. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And a cutback right sideline. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll at least. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2nd down following the run. He'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Ebron caught left side. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
And on the ground they go with a running back. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Dree Archer, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tyvon Branch. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. It's complete to Jerome Brown. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And they're going to speed things up here. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll look to throw. It's caught left side by John Brown. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And down by 5. They've got to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go with Johnson. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a pick, and we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Three receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Stanton. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be
admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth who refused to belong. No name nuisance, who's in a bedroom, who's in a brand new cuneiform. Barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone amp to the yap of a magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite. Cross contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you can do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod, distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light, I left some will the spirit away. I let my fears materialize, I let my skills deteriorate. One about a thought of what I should have been, continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky, it's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings, just to count your rings, just to count your rings. Used to paint, hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face, stenciled fire in his roommate's face. It was bloom and addiction, a miss and a push and a pigment. Book like a tattooed pigskin look. Pinhead kids in a minute, drank Kool-Aid from a tube of acrylic. And I grew up in a linseed oil, ever linen. Joy to the poison, voice to the resin.